The whole show is about art and science and how artists and scientists collaborate and work with things that we know from science that exist but sometimes can be difficult to grasp. So this work here is called Resounding Organ, and I made that in collaboration with a neurologist and a psychologist who's already doing research in how sound vibration has healing properties for the body, like in connection to depression and constant pain. We recorded the sound that the sound healer produced through healing my body. So that's actually the sound that comes out of this sounding organ. So one of the other works in this exhibition called Renderings is talking about time and consciousness and perception of time. Many people think about time as something linear. For me, it's more like a spatial thing. And it's also about consciousness, about what is time. So for instance, if we look at these, it's like iron ore cores. And they have made these drillings from one of the oldest rock formations in the world. So one of the first things that was created on Earth is actually these ones, where you can see these layers. And we know that this is something that was here before we were, and probably will exceed us and will be here longer than we are. So it's kind of like a time travel, going into a new, like a portal going through another place, while probably, I don't know if all young people would recognize these, but they will probably get a notion of that these are something, I call it grandfather clocks, that these are weights that would help keep the watches going. But this kind of time or perception or notion of time will be the measurements, the instruments that we human people made in order to understand what is time. And this is what we are running after, all of us, every day. Stresses us a lot. So it's two different perceptions of time, and the way they are placed is obviously much more about spatial time than linear time. So the piece is called Listening Back in Time, and it's a sound installation, and the sound that we can hear is recorded from a space observatory I collaborated with like 66 huge antennas that record sound vibration from out of space, from the nebula of Orion. This is sound vibration that was created like so many trillion years ago. We cannot understand it with our brains. We are talking about time that in some ways doesn't make any sense for us because it's so ungraspable. It really makes me understand in a more bodily experience that we are like, we perceive ourselves as the center of the universe, but there's something that is so much grander than we are, and we are just a part of all of this. We are made of the same materials that was created so many years ago, both out in space and on the Earth. You get a perspective on your own little life.